Please, I can't leave him alone like this." The elderly man's voice trembled as he clutched his chest, his face pale under the dim streetlight. Meredith Cole was rushing home from her evening law class, books heavy in her arms, exhaustion written across her 25-year-old face. She'd been studying constitutional law for 3 hours straight, her mind full of precedents and statutes, when she nearly walked past the old man sitting on the bus stop bench. But something in his labored breathing made her stop. "Sir, are you all right?" she asked, kneeling beside him. His hands shook as he tried to stand. "My heart, it's been acting up. I need to get to the hospital, but I can't seem to call anyone." Meredith saw his phone lying on the bench, screen cracked, battery dead. Without hesitation, she gently took his arm. "I'll drive you. Come on, let me help you to my car." "I don't want to be a burden," he whispered, tears forming behind his wire-rimmed glasses. "You're not," Meredith said softly, guiding him toward her old sedan parked across the street. "We all need someone sometimes." The old man's name was Walter Hayes. As Meredith drove through the quiet streets toward County General, he spoke in fragments between shallow breaths. He was 78. His wife, Eleanor, had passed 2 years ago. He lived with his grandson, Brennan, who worked long hours as CEO of a tech company downtown. "He's a good boy, just busy," Walter said quietly, staring out the window. "Always busy. I tell him I'm fine, but sometimes the house feels so empty." Meredith understood empty houses. Her father had died when she was 17, leaving her mother, Claire, to raise her alone. They'd struggled, worked multiple jobs, sacrificed dreams so Meredith could pursue law school. She was so close now, just 1 more year, but some nights the weight of it all felt crushing. At the hospital, Meredith didn't just drop Walter off. She stayed. She sat with him through the examination, held his trembling hand during the EKG, filled out forms he couldn't read without his reading glasses, left at home. The doctors said it was angina, stress-related, manageable with medication and rest. "You need someone with you tonight," the nurse said firmly. "Someone to monitor you." Walter's face fell. "My grandson, he's at a dinner event. I don't want to interrupt." "I'll stay with you until he comes," Meredith heard herself say. She had an exam tomorrow, notes to review, but Walter's lonely eyes made the decision easy. Hours passed. Meredith sat in the uncomfortable hospital chair, occasionally checking on Walter, who dozed fitfully. She tried calling the number he gave her for Brennan. No answer. She left messages. Still nothing. Around midnight, Walter awoke, disoriented. "Meredith, you're still here." "Of course," she smiled gently. "I'm not leaving you alone." His eyes filled with tears. "You remind me of Eleanor. She always said kindness is the only currency that matters." He paused, his voice breaking. "My grandson, he used to be like that. Before the company. Before he forgot what really matters." Meredith squeezed his hand. "People don't forget, Mr. Hayes. Sometimes they just lose their way for a while." Finally, at 2 in the morning, Brennan Hayes burst through the emergency room doors. At 33, he was tall, sharply dressed even at this hour, but his face was tight with guilt and panic. "Grandpa!" He rushed to Walter's bedside. "I'm so sorry. My phone was off during dinner. I just saw the messages." "It's all right, son. This young lady, Meredith, she took care of everything." Brennan turned to Meredith for the first time, really seeing her, the exhaustion in her eyes, the textbook stacked on the chair beside her, the kindness that had kept her there all night for a stranger. "You stayed with him?" Brennan's voice was thick with emotion. "All night? I don't know how to thank you." Meredith stood, gathering her books. "No thanks needed. Just spend more time with him. That's what he needs." She left before Brennan could respond, disappearing into the early morning darkness. But Brennan Hayes couldn't forget her. Over the next few weeks, as he adjusted his schedule to spend more time with Walter, he found himself thinking about the law student who'd shown his grandfather more care in one night than he had in months. He asked Walter about her, learned she was at Monroe University, struggling to balance school and helping her mother pay bills. What he discovered changed him. Through discreet inquiries, he learned Meredith worked part-time at a legal aid clinic, often for free, helping people who couldn't afford lawyers. She tutored other students on weekends. She visited her mother every Sunday, no matter how busy she was. He also discovered something that shook him to his core. His girlfriend of 2 years, Vanessa, the woman he'd been at dinner with that night, had been systematically moving money from their joint accounts. She'd convinced him to invest in her startup, taken business trips on his dime, all while seeing someone else. The truth came out when his accountant flagged irregularities. The betrayal stung, but it also opened Brennan's eyes. He'd been so focused on success, on appearances, he'd lost sight of what his grandfather had tried to teach him, that character matters more than status, that real love shows up in hospital waiting rooms, not just expensive restaurants. 3 months later, Brennan found Meredith at the legal aid clinic. She was reviewing case files, hair pulled back, glasses perched on her nose, looking tired but determined. "I've been trying to find the right way to thank you," Brennan said quietly from the doorway. "Mr. Hayes, you didn't need to." "Please, call me Brennan, and I did need to." He stepped inside, carrying a folder. "My company has a legal department. We're expanding our community outreach, offering scholarships for law students who demonstrate real commitment to justice. I'd like to nominate you for a full scholarship for your final year and a position in our corporate social responsibility division when you graduate." Meredith's eyes widened. "I can't. That's too much." "It's not charity," Brennan said gently. "It's recognizing someone who already embodies what we want to be. You showed my grandfather, showed me what real kindness looks like. And I wanted you to know I left Vanessa. She was using me. I was too blind to see it." "I'm sorry," Meredith said softly. "Don't be. You helped me see what matters." Brennan paused, his voice growing emotional. "My grandfather talks about you constantly. He says you gave him hope, reminded him there's still goodness in the world." Tears filled Meredith's eyes. "He reminded me, too, that even small acts of kindness can mean everything." Over the following year, Meredith accepted the scholarship. She graduated top of her class and joined Brennan's company, where she built a pro bono program that helped thousands. Brennan spent every Sunday with Walter, often inviting Meredith and her mother, Claire, to join them. A quiet friendship bloomed between them, built on mutual respect and shared values. One evening, as they all sat on Walter's porch watching the sunset, the old man took Meredith's hand. "You know what you taught me that night?" he said softly. "That we're never truly alone, as long as there are people who still stop, who still care." Meredith smiled through tears. "And you taught me that kindness always finds its way back, sometimes in the most unexpected ways." Brennan watched them, his heart full. The woman who'd stopped for his grandfather had not only saved Walter's life that night, she'd saved Brennan's soul. Kindness is never wasted. When we choose compassion over convenience, when we stop for strangers and stay through their darkest hours, we plant seeds of hope that bloom in ways we cannot imagine. The smallest act of caring can transform lives, heal broken spirits, and remind us all that we're never too busy to be human. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Let's spread more stories of kindness and hope together.